Is there anywhere else I can hibernate? Please, is there anywhere else I can sleep? I don't like being in this kind of room.
Are you backing out? You told your progenitor you'd hibernate like the rest of us.
It's all right, Violet. Since it is his first time hibernating, let's put him somewhere where he can be more comfortable. I'm going ahead and staying down here. I'll see you in 20 years, Tyro.
Let me show you another place. But it will be a little cramped. We'll have to cover you with a sheet to keep the dust off. There's no padding here. Don't think too much on it. Once we fall into hibernation, we sleep like the dead. Do you think you could stay here? Otherwise, I do not have anywhere else to put you. You certainly cannot stay in my bedroom.
I can do this. I'll stay here.
I feel better about this, too. I mean, it's a little weird you'll be sleeping inside of a couch, but if a hunter was looking for you, he'd never think of looking here.
Hunters? Why do you think of them?
Mark told me about them once. Do you promise me he'll be safe here?
As safe as any of us are in this world. Our donors will care for and upkeep this place. We're paying them well to do so, and I've arranged for the culture of love to occasionally check on the exterior to see it's done.
Those hippies? Are you sure?
Anaya is very reliable. I'm not so sure about the rest of her chapter, but I know
I feel better now. I'll go ahead. See you in 20 years.
You're a strong kid. The strongest person I know, human or vampire. You'll do fine. I'm sure of it.
Are you ready, Mickelson's Tyro?
Yes, Mrs. Violet. We'll wake up in 20 years.
Mark, wake up!
Professor? Where is he? I can't feel him!
Don't go in there, it's too late for them!
I must save Mickelson and the others. They're my family too.
We'll go back to our house when I know it's safe. Are you okay? You look kind of strange. You're breathing hard.
Get away!
I'm not leaving you here. I called Belmonte's place. His donors woke him up. He'll be here for you soon. Just hang on.
You must go! It's not safe for you now! Stop being stubborn! I told you to go! I am thirsty!
Then bite me.
I promised you! I can't hold back this bloodlust! It's dangerous! If I lose myself, if I start drinking, I could kill you!
I trust you. I'll forgive you this once. I won't count this against our promise. You're suffering, aren't you?
Johnny, are you okay? Did I hurt you? Maybe I took too much. It's been too long since I last drank blood.
No, I'm fine. I'm just glad that you're okay. I thought I was going to lose you back there.
How old are you? You don't look too different from the last time we saw each other.
21. You've only been asleep for a few years. You won't be getting thirsty anytime soon, will you? It'll be a few hours before Belmonte's donors make it here. Can't afford for you to bite me again. That was too much blood. I won't survive a second bite. We don't know what's going on, and for now, I don't think you're safe. Stay back.
Thank Dios you're well. This is the only good news I've had today.
How long have you been awake?
I awakened as soon as you called. The older a vampire gets, the less hibernation will affect them. The more you do it, the easier it gets. I imagine Mark is feeling ill.
He slept like the dead. I didn't want to wake him in case he had a relapse like he did at Violet's.
I'm sure he didn't mean to do that to you. We get very thirsty after hibernation. It takes several blood bags to revive us. My donors kept on throwing them to me as soon as I woke up. Thankfully, they always keep a fresh stock in case of emergencies. I brought some of the bags with me in case our friends needed them. Alas, no one needed any blood at all.
Don't worry, President Belmonte. I offered my blood freely.
What do you mean no one needed the blood? Did someone else help them?
I don't know how to tell you this, but everyone is dead. Everyone died in that fire. I was too late. It is a horrible way to go. Charlie's returning from New Orleans as soon as he can close accounts there. We'll have a funeral, but we'll never be the same again. All my friends gone. Your mentor. I can't imagine the pain of severing a tyro-progenitor bond. Only Steve had experienced it before, and he said it was the worst thing he ever felt. Losing everyone this way, I think I understand that pain now.
Can't we go back to the house? Make sure no one is still in the basement.
I already did during twilight. The firemen doused the flames. There was nothing left for them to do. After they left, I tossed the house beams away from the basement. There is nothing left below. Everyone's gone. I believe this belongs to you.
Professor?
Mark, are you there? I'm coming down.
Did you find him?
He's down here!
We'll give them a proper funeral. No one knew that I painted her, except for Charlie. But knowing that Violet's gone, it seems pointless to keep this a secret.
It's a beautiful painting. You loved her, didn't you?
So much so that I was willing to deny it for an eternity.
I always wondered, why was Mrs. Violet changed so late in life?
I knew her since she was in her early 40s. For the same reason you didn't want to change Johnny, I wanted her to live a normal life. That's why I permitted Johnny around us, despite my better judgment. If I didn't, I'd be a hypocrite. She knew for years what I was, and was so nonchalant about it. She kept my secret, asking nothing in return. All her passion was for her love of art. And her husband. She was so brilliant when I first met her. Always sharp and passionate about paintings. I think I first fell in love with her when she recognized my technique with a newer painting compared to an older work I made. I wanted to tell her my feelings, but she was already attached. I hated it. But I left her alone. I even tried to find a new love. I'll just say that it didn't work out. Meanwhile, Violet aged, and then her husband passed away. I couldn't lose her. I had to keep her here, even if she'd never be mine. Now, they are gone, and she'll never know what I felt. Why don't you come downstairs? I know how you feel. This whole situation is difficult, but I don't think you understand. You must come downstairs. There are vultures below. If they sense Colorado's enforcer is weak, we'll have a takeover on our hands. Not only that, but my society is almost non-existent now. We'll be prime targets. There could be a war.
Will you regrow the Society of the Arts?
Eventually, but it takes a long time for me to find someone I feel is flexible with this life and who I'd want to see around for centuries. They may not choose to join. Not everyone fits the mold.
I am so sorry for your loss. Violet was a dear friend of mine. Such a sharp mind and a wonderful woman.
Here you are. I want you to meet some of our guests.
There was nothing left of the society. Their ashes were so mixed up with the houses, they couldn't tell whose was whose.
I always thought that we should hibernate far away from humans. Accidents like this can be avoided. What was their leader thinking?
Are you sure it was an accident? They say it was a murder, and the killer hasn't been caught yet.
It could have been one of the other Colorado groups. Less competition for blood and all.
I heard it was hunters.
Hunters? Here? Why didn't anyone tell us anything? We could be attacked. We're sitting ducks if we're all together.
Belmonte has it right. It's weakness to start hiding. If it was hunters, I'd say let them come.
Did you see the young enforcer? I hear that he isn't even a century old yet. Do you think he's ready?
I am more than ready to protect. You can count that I'll be justice. Mickelson mentored me. Do you think he wasn't capable to prepare me? He taught me every technique he knew.
This is Mickelson's office? It's incredible! Look at all this stuff! What a collection!
I guess so. I mean, he teaches ancient civilizations.
And no one noticed he doesn't age.
That's what hibernation is for.
It just seems so weird. Okay, where do we start looking? What is it?
I've been found out. The villagers caught me biting a young girl. When they saw me, she was already half dead in my arms. I ran to the plaza, but the serfs grabbed giant crucifixes and pushed me into my own house. My own storehouse manager told them to cover all exits with the signs of Jesus. My hired men shout that I'm unnatural. I've been betrayed. The mob is sealing my house with beams and is starting to lay brick and mortar. They hold me back with signs of the Savior. Once the other nobles learn what the peasants did to one of their own, they'll come here. I'll just sit and wait, and hopefully find a way to dig out of this mess. I have spent many lifetimes in service of this land, and kept it safe from invaders. It's been a few decades since I've met one of my own kind. I don't think any of them would know I'm in danger. My hope is gone. And now, with the last of my strength, I am barely able to concentrate long enough to write these words. I suppose the villagers are right. I am the enemy. I drink blood, but I have no choice. This is my punishment. I drink of those who have not yet fallen from God's grace. The moment I'd become a vampire, I'd forsaken God when I rejected his plan for me. I shudder to think that I'll never see neither daylight nor heaven because of my selfish choice. I don't want to be damned. Alas, I'll sleep the long sleep, and maybe someday someone will unearth me from this tomb. After all, whether it be the curious or thieves, somebody will ignore the town's warnings and break me free from this prison.
And Professor Майкельсон was the unlucky guy who found him.
Let's look at this other journal. It's from my progenitor.
There's an envelope in his desk drawer. It's addressed to you.
Mark, if you're reading this, chances are that I'm deceased. I know this is a morbid topic, but I want to be certain, no matter what, you knew my whole story, including the thing that disturbs me the most. I was never able to tell you the story about how my father, André Garnier, became human.
What? He knew how to become human this whole time? You've been regretting being a vampire since I've known you.
I've hated drinking blood. It tastes so good. But it's not just the action I hate. It's like an addict dealing with his addiction daily. Cannot drink too much or I'll be lost. If I wait too long, I fall into bloodlust. Yes, there's moments after drinking where I'm satisfied, but the euphoria that comes with the taste of blood is indescribable.
When Sir Garnier ordered me to drink his blood, I never questioned my father. I knew that he was planning to become human. The déjà vu link was to keep some of his memories alive, or so he hoped. But I never understood how he planned to return human. Sir Garnier was a strict vampire who'd refused to communicate in nothing but his old language. When he wasn't talking about his era, he'd sit quietly for hours and just look outside. He was a traditionalist, and tyros were expected to obey, without question. I was thankful his mind was always trapped in his past, so he never demanded much from me. However, one day as he was talking about nothing, he suddenly grabbed my wrists and told me a strange story. 100 years before his imprisonment, a vampire friend of his converted to Christianity. Wanting all the sacraments, the friend went to get baptized, even though there was a risk that the holy water would burn him. Because of his faith, the vampire was able to be baptized or become saved, as modern Protestants call it. He came out of the water as a human. At first I thought that this story was just another one of Sir Garnier's ramblings. A few months later, a priest came by and picked my progenitor up. The knight gave me a few of his belongings and said that he would return. He came back that evening, as a man. He quickly aged. Because he was so ancient, he didn't live long. He lasted only the week and died asleep with a smile. But he believed that he saved his soul. It was his choice. All of us saw how he couldn't fit in with modern society. He'd gone mad after being locked up for centuries. I don't blame him for trying to regain his humanity. I was afraid to tell you this. I knew that if I'd told you his story, you'd be as impulsive as the day you joined us. I figured that you'd run off, leave the society, and get baptized. But there's something you need to understand about Sir Garnier, Mark. He immediately aged and died. I don't know if it was because he was so old, if the baptismal water did internal damage, or if it was because he physically reverted to a human. We don't know the biological price of reverting. While I'm curious about it, I don't want you experimenting on yourself. Maybe I'm just selfish. You're a part of my family. I love you, Tyro. And I don't want you to do something stupid. Here's what I am hoping. After a few years, we'll hibernate. Once we're done hibernating, then I'll tell you all of this. Forgive me for waiting until then. I just hope that you'll like waking up to a new decade and a new world. It's my favorite part of being a vampire. It's a great experience to witness humanity change around you. An academic like you should appreciate it. That's why I chose you. Your gift of languages makes you the perfect vampire. You can always adjust, where Sir Garnier came short. If you're reading this, Mark, stay safe. Something must have happened where I wasn't able to protect my Tyro. But whatever your decision will be, I support you. With my sincerest blessing, Professor Stephen Mickelson.
Thank you for never turning me into a vampire. I'd no idea. Not having kids someday would suck, but losing your soul?
I barely believed in God and souls. I had only a little faith. Maybe it's time I have more.
So, I've started playing basketball. Joined a small club and we play every Thursday night. It's been good. Gets me out socializing. Season's over now.
Would have liked to seen you play. I've missed out on a lot. I've been so wrapped up in what happened with the society that I've ignored you. What's been happening the last few years? Did you finish your degree?
That and then some. I've been working as I've always wanted. Got into a stockbrokering company. Those summer internships paid off. I know you left money for me and I've used some of it, but I want to stand on my own 2 feet. Move out soon.
All grown up, right?
Don't you know it? Besides, there's a girl I like. So there's that.
Got it. How long you two been dating?
A few months. But it's a little more serious than some of the others.
Others? Wait. I forget how old you are now.
I'm almost the same age as when you turned.
So it is true. You're alive. Any reason why I shouldn't be?
We heard the rest of the society died in a fire. Strange how you made it out. You finally fed up with them?
Are you suggesting I killed them?
He ain't worth it.
By the looks of you two, you're still sticking around Damien. You're still not quite like him, are you? Are you hanging on hoping to change? Is that why you let him hurt your brother that way? Are you two okay?
We're fine. Is he still human? Don't you think he should be like you? Are you feeding off him too?
We're in public, guys.
Shut your mouth! He never hurt me. I trust him.
For how long? The vampire side always wins.
He has more heart than you two. He respects me, and I choose to be who I am. I'm not some salty extra wannabe.
Don't want to hear that from someone who wets himself in front of vamps.
Stop it! Don't you two have somewhere to be?
Yes, I think we do.
He led a very dark life. He was so much like me, convinced that vampirism risks the soul. Great. If my ancestor thought this, my whole theory could be right. In here he talked about his former life, his love for a girl, and his horse. He wrote about strategy, fighting, and jousting techniques. Professor would have found all of that fast. This is funny. He even complains about how ridiculous court dress is. I would have liked to meet him.
Are you sure about this? Aren't you deciding a little too quickly? Like the time you chose to be a vampire?
Kid, I want to be human more than anything else.
I'm no longer a kid. Before you know it, I'll have a wife, picket fence, dog, and little kids running around.
No, you're not a kid anymore. I know you want the family you never had. But don't rush it. I'm still not used to it. I woke up and the next moment you're older by a few years. You're old enough to drink alcohol now, right? I'll get us some wine.
As long as it isn't the vampire kind.
What? You don't want blood?
At least I'm not an old man after you hibernated. That'd be freaky. Go to sleep one day and boom, I'm an old man wearing dentures. I'm worried about the baptism. You will save your soul, but couldn't you die from suddenly being human? I finally get to see you again after a few years of you being smushed inside that couch. You could be gone forever this time.
My soul's more important. Sure, it's a possibility, but I don't think I'll die. I'm gonna have faith that I won't. Besides, saving your soul trumps losing it any day.
You're my friend. I'll support whatever choice you make. While you were gone, I've done a lot of thinking. Made friends, even played some basketball. I thought about someday getting married and having kids. The whole time you've known me, you've treated me okay. I know my childhood wasn't the best, but I know I could trust you around my future family, whether as Uncle Mark the human or Uncle Mark the vampire. I'm glad you never made me a vampire, Mark.
Me too, man. Me too.
I wanted to stop by and say hi. Check up on you. Well, this is a little awkward. I mean, I didn't like your mentor. He was a prick. That control freak trained you nonstop and wouldn't let us be friends. But that didn't mean he should have died. No, that didn't come out right. If you need a permanent place to stay, you're always welcome with us. All the vampires are wanting to fill the enforcer's shoes a little too soon. You don't have to succeed him. You have no obligations to him. He's dead. Think about it. You're free now. Why don't you come with us? You can live a better life with the Skulls. Who do you have left in the society? That old man Belmonte and Charlie? And Charlie will be too busy with his friends to hang out with you. Did you ever truly feel they were family? Yeah, they mentored you better than how that loner Ricky mentored me. But now you're used to being a vampire. So they started you off right into the vampire life. But that doesn't mean you owe them eternity or anything. Bonds like that don't last forever. Don't let them tie you down.
Does Jinzu know you're here?
Well, I told her I was stopping by to give my condolences. Sorry I didn't go to the funeral. I really didn't want to see the local vampire crowd after your introduction. Bunch of snooty know-it-alls.
No, thank you.
You bastard. What's the meaning of this? We stopped by to surprise you, but it seems that we're the ones getting surprises tonight. Why is he still human?
Johnny, as soon as I run, get out of here!
No way! I'm not gonna leave you here with that jerk!
Looks like the little human still has a grudge against me. Maybe if I make him one of us, he'll change his mind.
As long as I live, I'll kill you if you try! Please, God, be with Johnny! Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Hey guys, sounds like he's finally awake. Get out of here. You're not supposed to be down here. I told you that.
But Damien, it isn't right what you're doing to Mark. Just explain to him what's going on, how you feel. You don't need to torture him.
You're thirsty, aren't you?
Very. How long have I been out?
3 days.
Did you do this? Just tell me why.
Why wouldn't I? Johnny's not a vampire or a donor. It's time you made a choice with him. I think that you need to be reminded how good it feels to be a vampire. To be really alive. To drink from someone in bloodlust. To be a vampire. To lose yourself in the moment. Maybe that'll...
You're crazy.
Hey, twins! Come down here.
Where's Johnny? What did you do to him?
He's here with us. We haven't bit him. Yet. That's your job.
Please, I'll drink from anyone, even the twins. But leave Johnny alone.
Bring in the prisoner!
I think you should turn him.
Mark, your eyes.
Get lost, Damien.
Our guest isn't thirsty enough.
Is this how you treat your guests? I'd hate to be your friend.
Come on. I'm helping you. You will start acting like a vampire. Make a choice with the brat. Drink him or change him.
I refuse.
You damn hypocrite. As enforcer, you're supposed to keep the code, not break it!
I thought you hated rules.
But this is a rule even I understand. Make him a vampire or suck him dry. Do it! Because the way it is, neither of you will leave here alive until it's done. You need to remember what it means to be a vampire. You don't need this fake compassion. Bite him! Fine then. If you're not thirsty, then I'll drink.
Stop it! Get your hands off him!
Will you drink his blood?
No! You know I won't!
Then why should I stop? The blood's tempting, isn't it?
Go away.
What's the matter? It's okay to want to drink. It's what being a vampire is all about.
Johnny, go away. I'm starting to have bloodlust.
Stop this! He can't take much more.
Once he's satisfied, he'll wake up. If he really is so attached to you, he'll want his pet to live. He can't stand the thought of you dying. You'll become his tyro. Then, he'll be one of us. If he doesn't kill you in the process.
Promised. I made a promise to him. I won't bite him.
He's still not gonna bite. Can't imagine what he's feeling right now.
He's crazy. We'll try this again later. By then, he'll have no choice. Try and piss me off again and I'll force you to become a vamp myself.
Here, I brought you some blood. No, don't worry. It's from one of our donors. It'll be our secret.
When Mikkelsen turned me, I felt a loss. There was so much sadness. Ever since then, I've wondered if I lost my soul.
The soul? We're immortal. You shouldn't worry about that. We're probably too bad anyways. We've known each other for a while. I know it sounds weird, but Damien respects you.
He has one hell of a way of showing it.
I think he's afraid. No one knows what'll happen next. It's important that you stay with us. Just make Johnny a vampire, then I can convince Damien to turn the twins. We'll have power then. Enough to stop anyone.
That's just as bad as him! We're not supposed to change that many vampires in a generation! Mikkelsen told me Damien got a pass before, since he didn't know about the code. But there's no excuse now!
Then I guess you'd have to ignore the code for us. This is about survival. I know Damien can be a jerk sometimes, but he's right with this one. The skulls are with him.
Become human. That's just an excuse and you know it. Your society just died. Why are you so desperate to join them? I don't understand. You'll destroy your bloodline. You're the last one of your family.
What does my family have to do with this? The professor's progenitor chose to be reborn as a human.
So insanity is a family disease. There are so few vampires in America. With the loss of the society, you miss the Society of the Arts, don't you? You've gone crazy after your family died. I understand. If anything happened to the House of Skulls, I'd go crazy too. But you don't have to try and kill yourself. Don't give up on life.
I don't think you get it. I'm not trying to kill myself to be with them.
I'm not an idiot. Holy water burns like fire. I tried to enter a church one day.
If you believe it's safe, baptism turns believing vampires into humans. It's true. Mickelson's sire did it. I want to be a human again. This is real. I'm trying to save my soul. Think about it. If baptism is the way to become human again, then that means vampirism does something to the soul.
No, I don't believe you.
We don't have to stay this way. You can be human again. Didn't Ricky force you to become a vampire when...
Don't ever mention him! Shut up! Have you made up your mind?
Screw you. I'll stay vampire, but leave Johnny alone.
I've waited my whole life to be something more. Damien just dangles it in front of me, but I can't give this chance up. It's there, but I know it's just out of reach. After all this time, so much sacrifice, I don't think you'll ever make me a vampire. So I hate you. You have someone you mentored, built a real relationship with. He's in our world, but unlike me in Limbo, you spoil him. He's not a donor, not a vampire. What is he? He's someone safe, breaking the rules, keeping the vampire secret without sacrifice. That's why I support Damien. He's right. Johnny can't stay as he is. At least give him the chance I don't have.
My brother and I can't believe you want to give up this gift.
Coming. Ricky! What a surprise! You should have called us if you were going to visit. And you brought company with you.
Have I ever called before stopping by? I thought I'd check up on you. I wanted to make sure you two are alright. My friends are also worried, so they wanted to come along.
Maybe?
Ugh! It stinks down here. Is that vampire blood I smell?
Sir, I know I promised I'd let you handle your tyro, but my patience is thinning.
So is mine. I heard you said to my friend you hadn't seen Mark. Belmont visited here a few days ago. You know he's been looking for him all over town. And he is the missing vampire. Like magic. How'd he suddenly appear? Don't tell me you just found him. It's, uncool to lie, you know?
You broke the rules and mistreated a fellow vampire. Why does he have cuts all over his body?
He's breaking the code! He refuses to change Johnny. We don't have enough vampires as it is. The squirt is grown up now, but he's not a donor or a vampire. How is that okay?
However, this gives you no right to take matters into your own hands. You could have spoken with me. This treatment is extreme.
Are you non-biased? See? You can't be. You're all blinded because he's a reminder of everything you've lost. The Society of Arts has no more power in this town. I'm the only one who does, and I can see things clearly. It gets worse. He's acting crazy. He refuses to drink blood. He keeps on saying that he wants to become a human.
Human? It's his freedom. He can take care of his own life. But this is low. You broke the peace.
If Mark wants to be a human again, I'll take him to the church myself. This was none of your business. It's the Society's. It's only by my word to Ricky that I won't report this to the next region's enforcer. He promised if you were involved in their disappearance, he'd punish you himself. If you ever interfere in our business again, I won't be as merciful.
How long were you planning to lock him up here? No one hurts my friends.
Stop! I know how you both feel, but don't kill him. I promise I'll make sure they're punished.
Even us?
You knew what was happening, but didn't call anyone. Bystanders are just as guilty.
Please, I'll take every punishment. Leave them out of it. It was my idea. I admit it. I was extreme. Please be merciful with them.
How many times did Mark beg you for mercy and you ignored him?
Oh, so now you're begging. You'll be doing a lot more before I'm through. It's time to leave Belmont. I have business with the skulls.
I would wish you good luck, Damien, but I can't. Ricky, I trust you will train them well.
You know it. He'll have 40 years to rethink his mistakes. If you ever do see him again, Mark, I guarantee you'll know a tame a vampire.
I forgive you, Damien. You may hate me for wanting to be a human, but I couldn't care less.
You'll be safe here. It's over now. We change the locks on that goth one day, come back.
Are you sure you wouldn't want to return to my home? You're always welcome.
Thanks, but I think we need to be around what's normal for us.
If you don't mind, I'll sleep here on the couch until both of you are doing a bit better.
I'm alright, really. But are you okay? Damien told me that you were going to go mad if you stayed awake and didn't drink blood.
Yeah, I'm making it. The blood the president gave me is really helping. I'm able to think again. Before, I wasn't sure if I could have told you where I was or who you were. You don't look okay. You don't have any broken bones, do you?
No, everything's fine. I'm sore, but I'll live. I guess living on the streets toughened me up. We made it, didn't we?
We did, kid. Belmonte, Charlie, thank you again for coming. Just how in the world did you find us? You'd no idea what I was thinking when I heard your voice and then realized you'd left. I was about to give up.
But you didn't.
I tried calling you, but when you didn't answer after a few days, I got worried and checked on you. That's when we knew you were missing. Get some sleep. I think you both have gone through enough to last a lifetime. You're safe now.
Now, this may sound strange, but I think I understand Damien. He didn't want to lose any more vampires, and he wanted to grow his own group. But what he did was wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted you specifically because Mikkelsen took his friend from him. In his world, that'd be the perfect payback. Here is a robe. His slippers are tucked inside the towels.
What's this stuff?
It is an old American tribal recipe that is good for cuts, burns, etc. I learned it from some New Mexican natives in the 19th century. It's cactus, aloe vera, herbs. I've added some cucumber to the recipe. Some of your swelling has gone down, but this will help speed the process.
So how do I use this alien vomit?
Just lie in the tub, cover yourself in it, and fall asleep. Your healing...
It's time I made a decision, guys. I'm sick of all this. I feel that getting kidnapped was my fault. If I had made a decision about my life sooner, this would have never happened.
No, it wasn't your fault. I don't blame you for what happened. You shouldn't blame yourself.
No, listen to me. I've been puttering along in this vampire world. I need to make a choice with my life. I should enforce the code. This would have never happened if the code was obeyed. I'll take up Enforcer Mikkelsen's role. But Belmonte, if I do, I cannot return to the Society of the Arts. Being an enforcer means I can't show favorites. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I'll miss you, Mark.
We can still be friends. It's just...
I know. You can't stay a member of the society.
No, keep it. In memory of us. It was a gift for your transformation.
You could have waited until I got into position.
Sorry, but he was killing her.
Good point. One more of these murderers down.
Enforcer, did you find them?
We sure did.
Were you the one to discover them?
Couldn't have done it without my assistant Johnny. He's more in tune with digital patterns behaviors. Send our fee to the usual site.
Of course, Enforcer.
Your daughter's birthday's Friday. Sorry I can't stay the whole time. You know how the sun affects me.
It's okay if you come later. She's the one who insisted on a pool party. She's getting big. Soon she'll be too old to hang out with Daddy and Uncle Mark.
That's how kids are. You did good back there.
Thanks. When I heard another girl was taken, I just couldn't. I always think about what happened to us.
I can't promise we'll catch every vampire with a power trip, but we'll do our best to stop them before they cross the line.
Yeah, we'll be there, waiting.